And good Saturday morning. Welcome. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin a new day. Nice outside. A little bit of fog earlier this morning when I was out before daylight. Things are shaping up. It's going to be warm. We'll get into the forecast to tell you all about what's going on. State games are in town. We've got a lot of folks visiting the city that are staying in our hotels and partaking of games with their kids throughout the area. So be on the lookout for that. A little extra traffic in our area that we're not accustomed to having. As we begin today, there's lots to talk about. A busy overnight. Now, lately, and it has been the curve, we have not had many shots fired. We have not had any shootings. It's almost a lapse over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, which is good. I don't think anybody will complain over that. But kind of eerie, all quiet. As we begin today, I urge you, if you are watching, there's 2 subdivisions, and if you live in a subdivision, I want you to get up, immediately go check your cars, check your cameras, because we've had, what's the word for it? A string of hits last night. Let's go to our first subdivision that we are aware of this morning that was struck by thieves last night. And what they're doing in our area is they take a car and they drop 3 to 4 people off with backpacks. And they just ease down through the neighborhood and take anything they can with cars that are open. Our first place that we go to that we're aware of this morning, and again, call the Meridian Police Department if your car has been hit because they need evidence, they need pictures, if you've got anything that would identify who this is. As we take our first look at this, we go to Eagle Pointe this morning. This is going to be Highway 39. If you'll look at this, this is out before you get to Briarwood Road. If you go in here, I know of at least 2 cars that have been hit in here. If you are one of these, make sure to contact the police department. Eagle Pointe, again, if you're just waking up and you hadn't even thought about going outside, it's Saturday. Lots of folks haven't. I feel like there's going to be more people that find out that they've been hit by this. We go to our next subdivision that I'm aware of. And again, if you've got one that I'm not aware of, let me know. We go to our next one is going to be Woodview Estates. Let's pull this up. This is going to be just off of State Blvd, and where this would be is after you come down North Hill Street. You turn on to State Blvd. This is going to be over here near 58th Place in this area here. I'm hearing at least at this point up to 8 cars that they're aware of. And again, this is early. Not everybody has checked their car, so that's 8 there. We're looking at possibly 10. And y'all know as well as I do, there's more than that. So 2 subdivisions that we're looking at this morning, Woodview Estates and also Eagle Pointe. Could be more. Again, they're tricky. The way they do this is they drive in neighborhoods and drop people off. They either use walkie-talkies or cell phones to text each other of when to come back to pick them up. We saw this not long ago, if y'all remember this, when that hit out at Lake Ross Collins, all in the Collinsville area. They caught those. They used a stolen car in that instance to do that. Not saying that happened in this, but that does happen a lot to where if you have a missing car, it's used in a crime in our area overnight. This is what we know at this point. So check what you've got. Let us know. Make sure to let the Meridian Police Department know about this also. We need to catch them. We can't put up with this. You work too hard for what you've got for them to grab. And it's basically anything that you leave in your car of value, they want it. They either trade it for something else or, well, y'all know the word for this. We'll get into a few other things. Let's first talk about last night. It was a great opening ceremony for the State Games of Mississippi. I went down, enjoyed myself. Let's look at a few of the pictures as it began last night. No problems whatsoever out of that. As we pulled to this was the opening scenes as we walked in. This is the first police officer I bumped into. As we went around, the streets were crowded. Lots of folks as they introduced the different cities and towns that were represented there. Nice folks throughout the area there as we look at this. Had a flyover. Of course, the big fireworks show that ended the show. They were escorted in. Some of our city officials took part of this also as they came down the streets of here. It was crowded. A lot of folks enjoyed that. This was the stage look that took place downtown Meridian last night. Maybe you had a chance to be there and enjoy all of that. Good food. People were having fun as they looked around. Now, the next thing that happened, the wee hours of the morning, Poplar Springs Drive. I think most people know where that is, without a doubt. We had a wreck last night. Let's go back to to our Facebook page. I have not had a chance to load this to the website yet. But this is the scene early this morning, the 4200 block of Poplar Springs, as a car ran into a home. Now, it was reported that a car was weaving and running several yards before it struck this home. And I think in the end, as this is under investigation, that it could have been someone that had a medical issue this morning. As you'll see here, right there's the hole where it bumped into the car. This is next to Pigford and Corey as we look at this. Tap that front porch there. They'll have to do a little work there to their porch to get it repaired. And as the car is loaded up by Lewis Record and it's getting to be hauled off. Some pretty major damage to the car. Those brick walls don't move. That was the scene early this morning before daylight, around 4 a.m. is when all that went down. 4:15, somewhere right along in that era this morning there. No one seriously hurt. Still under investigation as we continue this. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about, the Meridian. If you run into a Meridian fireman today and he seems kind of a little grumpy, well, give him some slack. They had no breaks last night, as it was one fire after another reported to the Meridian Fire Department. Our first would be reported on 6th Street last night. As we pull up a map to look at this, the Meridian Fire Department responded to this, and this was near where the animal control shelter is. And what was it? It was a warehouse, and from what I'm understanding, the Salvation Army box truck was on fire inside of the warehouse. I don't know the complete damage of it, but it's not good for the Salvation Army regardless. A lot of smoke was covered in the building. That is the first fire that we had reported last night. Hopefully it's salvageable. I don't know at this point. Our next fire that would be reported was a structure fire. It was located on 10th Street and 26th Avenue. This would be, as we look at this, right here is Highway 493. It would be just past the Comcast office, a couple of blocks past that near Rogers Florist. A structure fire in that area last night. As I said, the Meridian Fire Department was busy. As we go to our next one, would be reported just off of 8th Street, right past where the Gypsy Queen is. As we go here, the 600 block there, 44th Avenue. Here's the Gypsy Queen. This would be just off of 8th Street. Here's O'Reilly Auto Parts. It'd be located right behind it back in this area there. Another structure fire last night. They were busy, but it didn't end there. We had reports of some form of a structure fire near, and let's pull this up, near Kate Griffin School back here off of 28th Avenue. Here's Valley Street, and again, this is going to be 8th Street right here. If you'll look at this, Hope Village, y'all know where that is. It would be behind here in this area, right along in there. Not sure how bad the damage was, but it was a structure fire reported there. And then the next incident that we had with the fire department, I'm telling you, those guys were all over the city last night with sirens blasted. This could have turned into something major. Thankfully, it was not, but a car caught fire last night at the gas pumps. As we go here, this is going to be the Stuckey's gas station. This is Highway 11. Down by the airport. Here's the Shell station. It'd be that first gas station there on the right. It caught fire at the gas pumps. It was a Tahoe. It was extinguished before the gas pumps or anything like that caught on fire. That's the good news with that. But as we look at that, things like that could turn into something major. But our guys at the Meridian Fire Department got on that quickly and were able to extinguish that before it spread and caused more damage. That's great. And it does sound like, as Anita pointed out, it does sound like someone started some of this. Do I have proof of that? No. What do I know? I know that a lot of times this goes back to gang activity as initiations. Well, you got to go do this to be a part of our gang. Can I prove that? No. That is simply speculation of what I'm saying on that. The hard fact is that things did get caught on fire last night. It does sound like someone or something was involved with all that. Way too many to be coincidental. I think that's the best way to word that. Again, they were busy. We mentioned this yesterday morning, but I did not, at the time when we had our morning show with Scotty Ray Candace at 8 o'clock yesterday, I had not gotten the photo from the Meridian Police Department of the guy that was arrested. I mentioned to you that, and what a great job the Meridian Police Department done on this. I give them that a boy of making an arrest in a kidnapping case out of Tennessee. A young girl that was 15 was kidnapped. She was being shuttled to Texas via Meridian. They stopped in a hotel. That was a mistake. The Meridian Police Department got a ping on that tag number that was reported to be a part of it, and there they were. They had rented a hotel. This young lady was inside at the True Hotel up near Sam's. And we go back to sammedia.network, and here's our guy, 32-year-old Jonathan Salazar. He's been arrested, again charged with kidnapping. That's just bad. You'll get some time over that. The other people that were in the room with him were detained but released. He's being charged with this. Sad day, and for something like that to happen. But y'all seriously think about this. Think about how many people pass through that no one knows that they're kidnapped. Maybe it's not been reported. Maybe our area had no idea about it. You never know what is going on. So if you see signs in restaurants of people needing help, take it seriously. Call somebody and say, I noticed something that was a little strange. That young girl has been saved. Maybe behind the scenes of this, and we don't have all the facts of this as the investigation goes, watch computers and cell phones. Could have been a case of someone posing to be younger and trick them into meeting them, that type of thing. We don't know. It's still under investigation. But the bad guy's been caught. The 15-year-old has been returned to her family. That is wonderful news, and I can't tell you about that. MPD, Meridian Police Department, as I get tongue-twisted here, as we go back to Sam Media, we got this yesterday afternoon. Also, they have charged Daryl Macmillan with aggravated assault. His bond has been set at $250,000. This is the case of the gentleman that I reported last week that was struck with a pipe in the face. Few details of what actually happened, but from what I know is the gentleman was standing and this gentleman struck him without warning. Very serious hit. I also got reports yesterday on Valley Street. This would be just off of 8th Street. Not much more that I can do about this other than I know this happened, but when somebody doesn't tell the police what happened and they go, no, I actually fell, I'm okay, and it's obvious that they've been whooped beyond measure. That was the scene yesterday of someone hurt off on Valley Street, which is just off 8th Street. No charges can be pressed if no one tells what happened. Why do people do that? They're scared. Whether it's for them or some family member that they're afraid will be attacked next, and they just say, I don't know what happened. Oh, I tripped over something. Almost like an abused spouse. But that was the scene just off of 8th Street. We have nothing to back it up other than I know that it happened. No charges were pressed, and I thought you ought to know that. Speak up. If you know someone that has been hurt, speak up for them. We've got to show the criminals that we're not scared. I don't know much other way that I can word it other than that. As we start looking around the state, as things that have gone on, Adams County, which would be Natchez, Mississippi, a homeowner was home. Next thing they know, someone's breaking into their house, crawling through the window. Homeowner didn't take it. They shot the suspect and killed him. Protected themselves. That was Natchez, Mississippi. That happened yesterday. As we go to Jackson, Mississippi, do you remember us talking about a 12-year-old that was shot and killed? Drive-by shooting. An 18-year-old girl has turned herself in after she was identified being a part of it. She's a suspect until proven guilty, but a girl has turned herself in. Kratisha Kishan, if I pronounce that correctly, has turned herself in the death as a suspect of the 12-year-old. 12-year-old's dying. Drive-bys. Jackson, Mississippi. Amazon. Did y'all hear about this? At a Amazon plant yesterday, a lady was shot and killed. A few hours later, on I-40, the suspect would be killed. That's just south of Memphis. This is northern Mississippi where I'm talking about. Would be stopped in a traffic stop. Some words would be exchanged. A gun was pulled, and he was taken out by police there. He was the suspect in the death of the young lady that was killed at the Amazon plant. Let's see here. Oh, boy. Well, this is a serious crime as we go to Jones County. Again, kids can't take care of themselves. That's what mom and dads are for. I think everybody would agree with me. I was fortunate to have a great family. My parents tried to teach me right from wrong. Did I always do right? No. I was a kid. This is bad when a mom with this. 4 kids have tested positive for meth. Kids will be taken away with that. You know how that works next. She's been arrested. They've been taken into child custody. As we go to Louisville, Mississippi, not far from the Meridian area, they've made an arrest stealing from Walmart. $1,600 worth of products were stolen. Caught them on camera. They were trying to load it into a vehicle. Off to the jailhouse they went there in Louisville, Mississippi. As we look around, a Clay County man, this happened in prison. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. For whatever reason, he didn't get along with his cellmate. He took a phone cord and strangled him to death. It happened. He's been convicted. His name is Henderson. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars. As farmers, they're really catching it during these dry seasons and with the expenses going up. Every type of farm that I know of, almost the American farmer is disappearing off the face of the earth. As we go back and we look at things, farmers are paid to plant trees instead of crops now. We wonder why there's shortages of food. Our government plays a little hand in that, don't they? Dairy farmers right now, they're catching it with high cost, fuel cost, everything that helps to produce milk. Think about them. An American farmer, we need them bad. And I got into this as the Census Bureau comes out and we look at things around the state. I wanted to mention a few of these as we look at headlines this morning. Let me pull over here and find where my sheet went. And I hadn't found it yet, have I? No, I have not. Let me pull that down. That is not what I wanted. I got a sheet somewhere. Hold on. I wanted to bring this up. This is called misplacing what you need. Aha, I found it. This will tell us what I was after. As we look at the state of Mississippi overall, the lowest earning, some areas here did make, we've got, 82 counties. Several of our counties in our area came in at making lower than average in the United States. Neshoba County came in number 47 in the state. Scott County came in at 44. Winston County rolled in at number 39. Average income there, $38,000 a year. As we go to Clark County, coming in at number 38 on the list here in Mississippi. Average household there makes $38,000. Jasper County rolled in at number 34. Average income of $37,000 a year. Noxubee County, just north of here, Macon, Mississippi area, came in at number 32. The average income, $36,000 there. Leake, not far from here, $36,000. Atala County, which is just west of Winston County, ranked at number 27 in the state with the average income of $35,000. Wayne County rolled in at number 24. Kemper County ranks in at number 9 on the lower income levels. Average income in Kemper County is $30,000 for the average home. And what is the number 1, the lowest county in Mississippi? It would be Holmes County. Average income, that's Mississippi Delta, coming in at the average income of $24,000 for the year. Thought you might want to know that as we look around the state for headlines and news that are going on. Also, Amite County, they've made an arrest of a guy, as we will see many times, of burglaries. He's got 22 burglaries charged to his name. He'll spend a few days behind bars for that as they solve a major crime. Amite County is where that happened. Yesterday on the national scene, as we look at things, we say condolences. We don't have the name yet, but one of our boys that flies in the military, a Navy pilot, has passed away in California. A training exercise went wrong. He ejected. He didn't make it. Awaiting notification of family members before they tell more of who it was. But always heartbreaking when we lose one of our service members in an accident. We pass condolences to family as they found out who this is. Liz Cheney really does not like Trump. She's running for re-election in Wyoming. Speculation is that she'll never get it, as Trump has endorsed her running mate. She says anybody that likes Trump has a personality cult. That's what's going on with the Republican Party. She claims that Trump doesn't really run the Republican Party. I think most would disagree with her, and we doubt we'll see her again in office. I think she's going to be voted out there. As we look to Florida this morning, we got some headlines there also. They found a box of loaded guns at a school. As they dug deeper into this, it would be the principal's guns. No word why yet, but they're investigating this, and it could be some repercussions for bringing guns to school. He either felt really unsafe or he or she felt unsafe. We don't know. I can't speculate on that. They're investigating that as to who, what, when, and why. I look at this next story, Los Angeles. As we've seen that DA that is out there that prosecutes people, that has lowered the, if you steal something to anything less than $1,000 is a misdemeanor. They don't even really fool with arresting you now, which means you can go into a store and take up to $999. Nothing's going to happen to you. We've seen many pharmacies have to close their doors, other businesses, because they can't afford this. You take 30 people in a month, that's $30,000 that they got away with scot-free. I don't know how the insurance side works on something like that, but it can't be good. And it's forcing businesses to close to that. With that being said, and I've watched the video of this, and I'm not going to show it because it's disturbing. There's no other way to word it. A mother was walking her child in a stroller, a baby, down a street. A car is weaving. It's a 16-year-old. She gets up against the wall, and he runs over her and the child. The person who ran over her, the DA gave him 5 months in a probationary camp. 5 months. It was intended. It was intentional. How awful. We've got to have people in these cities that back the law, back law enforcement to make a difference. That's horrible. And again, I won't even show that. It gives me the shivers. There's no other way to put that. We had a man that was killed in North Carolina yesterday. What was he doing? He was throwing, if I say this correctly, y'all all know you've been around me for the last 30 years on certain words. I get tongue twisted and I don't pronounce them correctly. But Molotov cocktail, did I say that right? Yeah, he was throwing those at police. They took him out. He died at the scene. And funny, but not funny. There's always a time and place. If you've got something that's a little bit special, maybe you've done well for yourself. Getting on social media and bragging about it is, well, not smart this day and time. As criminals watch that to see what you've got. Maybe you've got something a little better than somebody else, something a little fancier. Well, you go to bragging about it, and a criminal thinks, hey, I want that. And yep, that happened. As we go to New York, she was a stripper. She was real proud about how good business had been. What happened? They watched her on Facebook, and, well, they come and robbed her. Took all of her fancy stuff that she was bragging about. How sad it is. A line of work like that, number one, and then people that watch what you've got. I did get a note this morning. I don't know the details of this, of who runs it and how the red tape works. But I got a note, and I wanted to make a point of this. The Meridian Animal Shelter. And again, I have not spoken to any official, so I have no official word. I just know that pets need help. And I got a note there that funds were running low for the month, and they don't have enough food to feed the animals. And a couple of days they've had to feed the dogs some cat food to make ends meet to get by. And they were asking if anybody could help to donate a little canned food there to the dog shelter, Meridian, the animal shelter. And again, I speak that without speaking to any officials to know the facts of what's going on. I just know I care about animals, and I'm sure that you do as well. Breaks my heart to think that a pet could go hungry. We all know that it happens. Doesn't mean I want to see it, and that's one of those things I almost have to turn my head. It breaks my heart. But if you could, I think they can accept food, canned food, and things like that of that nature. The Meridian Animal Shelter. Help someone. Those pups need a home, so do the kitty cats, all of them there. So keep that in mind when you buy your pet something. Buy extra can, drop it off, and See if you can help a stray there that needs a helping hand. On the way, we're going to be checking your forecast. I'll let you know exactly what's happening as we have state games in Meridian and the outlook. What's going on down in Florida? I'm hearing there's flooding near Miami as this storm comes ashore. We'll check all of that. That's next here with the Scotty Ray Report.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
At Parish Tractor, we're more than just a tractor store. We strive to cultivate life and support the lives of farmers everywhere. Come see us June 17th for our Kubota Field event, because to us, supporting means giving back to you with 0% financing on select Kubota equipment, raffle and giveaways, demos, and service and parts specials. Come share a meal with Parish Tractor on June 17th and let us show you why we're more than a tractor store.
As we turn to a few comments, Anita said maybe the principal just needed to feel protected. Happening down there in Florida. Good morning, Joe Collins. Glad to see you. Miss Ann Tanner, glad to see you watching as well. Laura Lee is up. Joe Collins watching us from Orlando, Florida this morning. Thanks for tuning in there for the 22 National Special Olympic Games in town for that. Jessica Davis, how are you down? Rodney's Mufflers where she's holding court this morning. If you need a muffler or two, drop by and see her. She'll take care of you there. Clarence, good morning. Glad to see you with us there. Clarence Westbrook. Also Miss Anita Flo. Wishing AJ a happy birthday. Joyce Gressett is up as well. Glad to see you there. Good morning to you. Laura Lee is up. Miss Patrick Keaton watching from Meridian. Thanks a lot there. Let's see here. Debbie Davis is up. Whoop, forgot your last name there. Maiden name, wasn't it? Vic. Stephen White and McKinney, glad to see y'all. Bree is up as well. Anita Cochran, Miss Anita Flo, and also James Carter there. A few others watching as well. Thank y'all for the comments. We do appreciate that so much as you join and watch us each and every day. All right, let's turn to the weather just a little bit here and get a bird's eye view of what's going on around the nation to let you know what that weather's going. As we switch over and we go to Meridian Honda radar, this is the situation in Florida. I don't know if you've seen video this morning, but this side here around Miami is some kind of bad as water creeps up and floods the streets. Cars are being washed away at this point. 15 to 16 inches of rain in some of those areas. As we look at the storm this morning, it is tootling along with 40-mile-an-hour wind speed. Gust of 52 this morning, expected to make landfall any moment now as it comes across. Actually, here it is right here. What we've got there. 40 mile an hour as it comes across. Look at all this rain. Serious stuff there. Keep Miami in your thoughts. As we back across and we look at Mississippi, perfect. Alabama as well through Georgia, no rain. We do have some showers here in the deeper south there around Austin this morning. It's going to be just north of Victoria, east of San Antonio as we look at all this area here. LaGrange getting wet there. College Station. Might have a football team out there too. What do y'all think? As we come up that eastern coast, looks good through there. We are showing some showers up around Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Omaha, Wichita, Kansas getting wet this morning, and plenty of rain this weekend as we look at Washington State getting that. We move down that eastern coastline there. A little bit of fog in California, but overall, California looks good as we look at the nation as a whole. That's what we're looking at today. So perfect weather for us. No complaints on that. Let's get deeper into the forecast and let you know exactly what the National Weather Service has to say about our area.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we begin this, let's go ahead and move into what the weather looks like today. 89 is what we'll have. 89 to 90. You're on that borderline there through Philadelphia, 88, all the way up to Mississippi State. Get you some edumacation up there at 88 degrees today. Down south, a little bit warmer as we head toward the coast. 90 degrees, 87 in Greenwood at Mississippi Delta. As we move to Alabama, this is what we've got going on. Tuscaloosa, they've got about 89 today as well. Pretty much the same through Livingston, Alabama. And you go up through Geiger and those areas, it'll be right at 88 degrees through there. Now, as we look at our forecast over the next 6 to 10 days, well, we got almost a break of it being normal there. toward the coast, it was warmer, but look out to our west. We've got some hot weather headed our way from the California end. It's going to make its way here. As we look at the temperatures, this is what we've got over the next few days, and it looks to be warm is what we'll have. As we look at today, 88. Fog earlier this morning. That should be burning off by now is what we're hoping there. 89 today for that high, down to 91 for tomorrow. We'll get down to 67 tomorrow night. A little bit cooler tonight, but 67 on Sunday night. Monday, back to work we go with 93. Look at the temperatures as they climb. 94 on Tuesday, 96 on Wednesday. We're still into the high 90s there. 94 on Thursday as we make our way toward the weekend there. Slight chances of rain start moving into the forecast on Friday. Let's go ahead and take another week out. We'll get 85 coming up on Saturday because a few thunderstorms will roll through the area, and then we're back into the 90s again at the beginning of the work week. 95 as we look to the 18th. It's going to be warm, isn't it? Summertime is almost here as we get ready for what we've got another holiday coming up, Juneteenth, followed by July 4th. Right around the corner. Going to be warm on those. As we look at what the National Hurricane Center is telling us today, we go back to that, and this is it. 8 a.m., it's there. It's moving across Florida, and will make its way on out into the ocean on the other side and be gone. That's what we've got. Our first little episode was something this year. As we look to the fishing forecast today, looks to be an average day. Good time to fish was up until 8 o'clock this morning, and then you'll get a second time this afternoon right at dark, 6 o'clock to 8 p.m. tonight. Brought to you by Chet's Paint and Body. Go by and see them there and find out what they can take care of for your vehicle. They'll help you. But a great fishing day ahead of us there. So you can check the best time late this afternoon after that sun starts going down. I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning and letting us know. Again, I bring this up if you live in those subdivisions that we mentioned, Eagle Pointe or Woodview Estates. We do know that those two areas were hit by thieves last night in cars, riding around checking for open-door stealing. Check your car, see what you've got. Make sure that you're all right. If you do have problems, look for video and send it to the Meridian Police Department. Call them. Let them know about it. Erica Saunders, how are you? Causeyville watching in this morning. National Donut Day, Laura Lee says. I didn't know that. Joyce says that her sister adopted a kitty cat from downtown Meridian yesterday. That's great. I'm glad she did. Appreciate you watching Anitra 6 days a week. Glad to see you there. All right, we'll be here throughout the day, behind the scenes, monitoring anything. If anything comes up, we'll let you know about it. As always, inbox me, or you can email me to let me know if you see something. After we get a little note, we get to dig in deeper to find out what happens there. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this and making this so successful. I can't do it without y'all. Y'all bring the news to me, and I just tell everybody else about it. I appreciate that. We'll see you soon. Big thank you to all of our sponsors that you see on the screen there that make this happen just for y'all. We'll be back. And again, thanks for dropping by and spending some time with the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: